Charlie, what does 200 games mean to you?
It's pretty unreal, to be honest. I mean, to be at this sort of many games, I mean, I've sort of been in the system for a long time and probably should have been there a little while ago, but yeah, definitely grateful for the opportunity to have even played one game. So to have played 200, I'm over the moon, and the support that I've seen this week is, it's great.
It's a huge milestone no matter who you are, but having to take a bit longer and having setback after setback, do you think that almost makes it mean a bit more?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think many people thought I'd get this far. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, pretty humbling really to be able to play this many games and with two clubs as well. So I'm just pumped to be able to play this many, I suppose.
Is there something that's against Gold Coast as well?
I don't know. I mean, it sort of means a little bit. I mean, they're the club that gave me, my opportunity, which I'll be forever grateful for. And, always got a soft spot for Gold Coast because they gave me that opportunity, and I spent, 7 years there and helped. I like to think that I helped sort of build the club at some stage. So, starting from ground zero. So, and that was an amazing experience to sort of see how that sort of come about. So, yeah, it definitely means, something to me.
How would you describe the journey so far, mate?
Pretty tough, I think. I mean, throughout my injuries and sort of trying to play football in itself is one of the hardest things you can do, I think, and not just physically, mentally as well. And but yeah, it's definitely takes its toll on the body and on the mind as well. But forever grateful for being able to play this many games, and yeah, just happy to be here still, I suppose.
Ken said you'd hurt your good knee last week. How are you tracking for the weekend?
Just a little stinger in the middle, of the fourth quarter, I think it was. So that's all right. Knees all right. I got a fairly decent corky in the first, so that's what I'm managing at the moment. And a bit of fluid around the knee, which has been like that for the last probably 10 weeks. So I'm fine, mate. I'll be right.
How many years have you got left at the level? Because your body does take a fair bit of punishment.
Don't know. I'll see how I go, I suppose. It's just, I just like to look at the week ahead of me and then try and just build off that if I can do it. I've always said, as long as I think I can do it and I know I'm sort of able to, I'll just keep playing. But as soon as I feel like that I'm well behind and I can't do what I used to do, and then I'll be at it. It'll be an easy decision for me. But at this point in time, I think I've got maybe 1 to 2 left.
Do you think with Scott going out, you might have to do a little bit more ruck work this week?
Oh, I mean, I'm always willing to put my hand up to go on the ruck. I mean, I like getting up and around the footy, and especially in the wet. If it's going to be wet and those sort of tough slog conditions, I like being around the contest. So I'm willing to go in there if I'm needed, but we'll just see what happens.
Jack Collins was almost laughing in the week about how many things you're carrying at the moment. How many different injuries do you think you've got right now?
I think it's all just on the one leg at the minute. No PCL and then the corky through the calf and quad is sort of like aiding that a little bit as well. So try not to tape it over this week of training just to try and let the corky go away. But it's just the main thing, and is the lower limb stuff as well, ankles and all that jargon, I suppose, is I've just got to, but that's it. I feel like if I do more, if I train more, instead of sort of resting, letting my body rest, sort of settle, I can sort of keep it on its toes and I can just sort of keep grinding away. So as long as I can do what I need to do, and that's compete, and then the injuries and all that other stuff doesn't worry me.
Is that something you've learned over the years, how to sort of compete and learn to compete in different ways when you're maybe not 100%?
Yeah, definitely. I think being a tall, it's sort of like that. I go with the mentality of just competing and bringing the ball around. And as a tall, I think that's all our smalls and mids want for us, is to not get outmarked and bring the ball around. Yeah, you want to kick goals and all that stuff, but really our job as a tall or as a big is pretty simple, to be honest, and not get outmarked and win or halve.
What did you expect when you came down from Gold Coast to Port at the end of 2015?
What did I expect? I don't know, it was a while ago, and it was 8 years ago, mate. I don't know, To be honest, I had no idea what I was sort of walking into. I had no family down here. I knew Ken and crack. That was it. You know, moving to South Australia, and to be honest, I didn't really like it that much. So it was wet, like it is now, wet, windy and cold. It felt like it was raining every morning, and I thought I was going to do my 5 years and get out of here, but I fallen in love with the place, and I didn't expect much. I just wanted to go out there and play footy, and it was a bit of a shock to the system coming into a football town, and especially one as passionate as Adelaide to love you as also as hate you. So it's something that it's something that I love, and probably reason that I've moved up to the hills as well is to get away from it. So where I can come back down and then get into footy, but as soon as I go up through that tunnel, it's sort of switch off. So
at what point did that change? At what point did you go from saying, I'm not sure how I feel about this place to going this way now?
I reckon I was about 3 years in. I reckon I really started to actually get out and explore SA a little bit more, and just enjoyed myself. Obviously, I'm in my cars, and just the car scene's huge in Adelaide, and I've jumped on that and sort of haven't looked back. So, and I've just loved it. So that's the main one, I reckon.
Ken was with you real early days. How significant, and he obviously got you here, how significant has his influence been, not only from back then, but the whole journey?
Pretty similar, I reckon. If I didn't have him in my career, I wouldn't be playing. So from the very first time we sort of trained, like he was coaching, and he's always been brutally honest with me, and that's the way I respond, and how I like my feedback. And so I can simply put it down to I wouldn't be where I am today without Ken.
What's that brutal honesty sound like or look like?
Mainly probably call me a kid when I'm being a kid, I think, and on and off the field as well, and making sure I'm accountable on and off the field, and representing the club and myself, in a proper manner, and making sure I'm being a good human first before, and that's what Ken's massive on, is being making sure he's looking after the human before the footballer.
What's been your biggest growth as a footballer since those early days?
Probably just would be my sorry that. I'm trying to word it properly. Yeah, probably just my composure. I can fly off the handle a bit, and just trying to keep my shit together. I think that's probably the biggest one, and knowing that things don't always go your way, and controlling the controllables, which is something that Ken's helped me a lot with. Yeah.
How do you do that? Is it seeing a specialist, or is it internal work with coaches?
I think it was just with age more than anything, and I'd seen. I definitely saw psychiatrists and all that sort of stuff, and I was seeing one of that every 2 weeks at some stage, and over the years, and helping me, I suppose, deal with things that the average person wouldn't normally deal with. So that was a massive help, and the coaching staff, and being able to be honest and having those conversations with them, and giving me honest feedback and telling me that I need to pull my head in and make sure I'm a leader.
Do you like the spotlight? Do you like?
Oh, not really. I mean, this week, it's massive sort of week, I suppose, and to have Jez as well play his 100th game is awesome. So I'm glad that he's there, that we can both sort of celebrate this together, and to be able to share something like this together is awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty keen to get into the game and then move, get the game going, and then it's all good,
How important has Jez become in such a short space of time to the club and the team?
Yeah, he's been massive, and the way he's been able to adapt to roles when going in the ruck and doing what he has to for the team, and also coming up clutch and hitting, doing some pivotal stuff and kicking goals when we really need him. So he's amazing, and amazing human in himself, and what the journey he's sort of gone through over the last couple of years is massive as well, which is a credit to him and his family. And it's just amazing to have a person like that at our football club.
What do you make of this scandal with these AFL nude?
It's not my place to sort of say anything, to be honest. I'm not really here to talk about that. So.
But is that frustrating, that sort of stuff comes out?
It is what it is. This is the day and age of this sort of stuff happening. So, yeah, but I don't really want to talk about that, to be honest.
We're on the Gold Coast as well. I mean, on the knees right now after the weekend, but it was just a few weeks ago. They look like a final team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I probably wouldn't say that they're on their knees, but they're a phenomenal team. And when they turn it on, they turn it on. And it's going to be a tough game, and with the conditions and stuff, and that's the sort of stuff that they like. So it's going to be a tough game, and to be honest, I'm just looking forward to getting into it.
Are there many, if any, of your old teammates running around?
Dave Swallow, Sammy Day, I think. Could be the only two, I think Rory Thompson was the last one where we were there from the very, very start. So I think he's still at the club though. So with a development role. So yeah, there's not many sort of heads that, I used to run around with, but Dave played his 200th this year as well. And I think it's a credit to him the way he's sort of stuck there and done everything he can to, for that club. And I love Spitter, and he's a special human, and so I think he's him and Sammy Day, the only ones.
How competitive has the ruck battle been this week between Sam and Dante with that spot for grabs?
Yeah, the boys been going at it. It's good. It's what you want in a football team. You want blokes competing for their positions, and not being complacent, and in your position that you're going to play every week, and you want that. And I think our Mags boys have been doing really well this year at putting us through our paces and making sure that we're ready for anyone that sort of comes up. So the boys have been sort of going at it today. So it's good.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.